Jazzcast Pros.
I want to take you on a little trip back to your maybe 8-year-old self and think back to your childhood when you were trying something new. Maybe you were trying an instrument for the first time, or you were trying a brand new sport, trying out for a brand new team, going out for the school play, joining maybe an after-school club for the first time. Maybe you were learning how to ride a bike. These were all times where you didn't know what the outcome was going to be. Something that I think we lose in adulthood is that joy of trying something new and being okay at failing. Welcome to High Vibe Table Talks, the podcast to help you, the current or aspiring solopreneur, navigate the messy middle so you can make both an income and an impact. Hi, I'm Rashawn, and I love creating safe spaces for women to be courageous in their dreams. After spending a decade working in sales for a startup and talking with hundreds of other women entrepreneurs, I know it can be lonely, but you can do this. So pull up a seat. This is High Vibe Table Talks. We feel like we have to be all or nothing, or this has to make me money. I have to be perfect at this. I have to be great. It has to be something that is my whole personality. We can't just try something new. Because what if we hate it? What if we're bad at it? What if we don't enjoy it? What if it doesn't give us the outcome that we want? And I want us to tap into, a lot of times I use the movie Inside Out as an example, like a visual for us. And I would love in that visual to be like our 8-year-old, 10-year-old self that is like, let's just go try. Why the heck not? Let's have some fun. I think that we lose so much joy and fun and kind of exuberance in adulthood. And I would love to tap back into that. So let's say you were trying a brand new instrument. You didn't know if trying out the trumpet meant that you were going to become, get a scholarship to college to play in their orchestra, or if you were going to try it after 1 year and be done with it. But you tried, you experimented. And the thing I want to tap into that was that when you did that, you didn't have confidence. You didn't know what the outcome is. I think that confidence is like, I'm going to do this and I know I'm going to be successful. And in so much, especially with building a business, and I think just being in life is like, we don't know how it's going to turn out, and that's okay. And so what do we need to tap into? Because it's not confidence, but I think that that's what we say. Like the whole fake it till you make it. Like, I'm confident. I'm going to do this. Like, I think that can be detrimental to what we actually need, which is courage. I think we need to start from a place of courage. I'm going to be courageous enough to try this. And I deeply want it to be successful, but I don't know what the outcome is. And that is okay. And I'm going to be okay with the outcome regardless because I'm trying. I'm going to try. And that is so beautiful. I talk a lot about being in your Thomas Edison era. And I just think that we get confidence and courage so confused. And being in your Thomas Edison era takes so much courage. I'm trying to find all the ways that it doesn't work. And I'm like openly accepting failure. And that's incredible and scary and hard. And I was talking with someone about this the other day. Like, I think that one of the surprising things that becoming a parent has taught me is really putting my ego to the side. Like, I'm making this decision and it's not to pad my ego. It's because I am a shepherd of Rowan's future. I'm not an engineer. I'm not saying this is what you're going to do and this is how you're going to do it and this is who you're going to be. I'm a shepherd of like, she wants to try something, I can create space for that. And a lot of that is putting my ego to the side. And I think that entrepreneurship and just adulthood in general is so much about putting your ego to the side. And when you put your ego to the side, you create space for courage because, again, courage is like, this may fail, and I'm okay with that. The flip side of that, and why I think that we get confidence and courage confused, and where I think that confidence does come into play here, is that I'm not confident that this is going to work, but I'm confident in my ability to get back up if it doesn't. And again, like, you fall off your bike and you get back up. You lose a game and you still go out for the next one. You hated trumpet, but maybe next year you want to try flute, or you want to go out for the play instead of trying an instrument, or you tried acting and you really realized that you love being behind the scenes, and like all of the things that you took from that experience was data, not failure. And your confidence to say, like, yes, this didn't end up the way that I originally intended, but I have data and I got back up and I found a new avenue in which I am very successful. And so when you do that enough throughout your life, now you're like, okay, I'm going to try this and I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. And if it doesn't work, I have the confidence in myself that I can dust myself off, pick myself back up, gather a bunch of information from it, and move on to the next thing. You know, I think back to my first YouTube video, my first podcast, my first TikTok, my first Instagram reel, my first Instagram post. All of these things were not great. I was confident in my first podcast episode because I felt like this was the right journey for me and I had something to share. And it was still really scary. Like, this exact microphone sat on my shelf for like 2 years because I wasn't courageous enough to put myself out there and share with the world, because I was in my head of like, all of these people are going to judge me. And I'm so glad I had the courage to do it anyways. Thinking back to the first part of this conversation is like, what would 8-year-old you want to say to yourself? And like, what would 8-year-old you do? And what would 8-year-old you act on those exciting feelings? And from the other side, like, what is future you going to thank current you for? I don't think future you is going to thank you for like faking confidence. I think future you is going to thank you for having the courage to do it, not knowing how it's going to turn out. You know, on this podcast, I talk about sales, and sales takes a lot of courage. Because what the data says is you're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of people who don't get it. You're going to get a lot of people who won't accept your invite, or won't take the cold call, or won't reply to your email, or whatever. You're going to get a lot of that just based on the data. And then you're going to find the one who says yes. You're going to find the one who has been craving exactly what you're selling. You're going to find the one whose life is transformed because you were in it. I'm currently hyperfixating on the Wicked album because Wicked for Good comes out. Doing these things and trying these things changes you for good. And in the Wicked album, there is the song For Good. It's Wicked for Good. If you haven't listened to For Good, definitely give it a listen. It makes me tear up every time I listen to it. I will sob in the movie theater. But anyways, like, future you is going to say thank you for doing that. Thank you for trying that. Thank you for being courageous, because it has changed me for good. Not necessarily for the better. Like, I'm not saying that this was like the best experience. Someone out there is going to be transformed by what you have to offer. And they're going to be so grateful, and they're going to be changed for good because of what you have to offer, but they don't know about it yet. So you need to make sure that they know about it. And again, with the data, you're going to tell 100 people, and there's going to be 3 that are going to be changed and transformed based on what you have to offer. And so there may be 97 people that don't get it, and you may feel like ridiculed by. Again, you're not ridiculed. People don't care about you as much as you think they will. Like, we are consumers of so much content that like they're already on to the next thing that they actually care about, not you, that it didn't click with. But those 3 people are going to be changed for good based on what you have to offer. And so you have to make sure that you're getting out to those 100 people so you can change those 3 lives. And then the ripple effect of that, you know, like, I put my podcast and my sales course out there because the 3 people that I help to get confidence in their sales because they are courageous enough to start putting themselves out there, then make an income and an impact on their community and their family and their lives. And then they're able to, put their kids in sports that get them confidence and new friendships and changes their lives for good. And so it's this big ripple effect. And it can be hard to see the forest for the trees of like me sending this cold pitch email is going to have a ripple effect on someone's child signing up for lacrosse, whatever it is. That's just my world. And so that's my first example. But we don't necessarily make that connection. And I think that we have to remember to do that. And that takes a lot of courage. So I feel like the past couple weeks I have given you permission to do certain things. And this is my permission for you to tap into 8-year-old self and remember, like, what would 8-year-old you want to say to you? What would they want to feel? What would they think? What would they be encouraging you to do? And my permission for you to be courageous and not feel super confident and do it anyways. It feels like a short but sweet one today because what I want you to do is take this permission and turn it into action today. Take that courageous first step. You can do it. And remember that big dreams and small steps will transform your life.